Let's separate ourselves and become that dynasty that this organization is building.
We're trying to make this thing something that people will never forget.
Whenever we step on that field, you will know stagnation.
It's about continuing to build a legacy on and off the field.
We're going to give them an opportunity to work in there. They're going to help teach them while we're trying to teach them at the same time.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to this Super Bowl 57 edition of Hy-Vee Chiefs Insider. For the third time in the last 4 years, our final show will be a Super Bowl preview. Now, we're going to get you ready for football's ultimate game like no other program can. Under the helmet, we'll be with Chairman and CEO Clark Hunt, who will get into what it means, the story behind his father's trophy. Also, mic'd up, you're going to want to record it. Some of your favorite all-time Chiefs mic'd up for the win over the Cincinnati Bengals. On Kingdom Conversations, Matt McMullen will join me and talk about the resiliency and toughness shown by the Chiefs to beat Cincinnati and what it could mean to win a Lombardi trophy in the desert. Also, in a special feature, we'll have Hank Stram, Super Bowl IV, the victory over the Vikings, the first ever mic'd up in National Football League history. But first, let's go back to a night that Chiefs Kingdom will never forget when they took back the Lamar Hunt Trophy from the Cincinnati Bengals in this special Chiefs Game Day recap.
We're going to have to depend on each other tonight. Because we're going to stand for each other. Like I said at the beginning, I said this 4 weeks ago, man. Team, together, everyone achieves more, man. Together, everyone achieves more. And that's what it's all about, achieving something bigger than ourselves, man. Lamar Hunt on three. 1, 2, 3, Lamar Hunt.
If you look back in those 3 games, they made the play. We didn't make that play. Now, what some people may ask, what's that play? That play might be the strip sack. It might be the deflected pass. But whatever that play is, we got to make it today.
Tony, we've got all the stars at quarterback here with Burrow and Mahomes, and again, a rematch from last year's AFC title game, and here we go.
Crowd is into it, loud, trying to make things difficult for Burrow. Chiefs will play some zone here as Burrow pressured in the pocket. He's sacked! He's sacked! Back at the 26-yard line. He gets sacked by Frank Clark and Mike Dana. And for Frank Clark, he's now third in National Football League history in sacks in the postseason. Swinging the right leg through is Butker. And the kick is good, and the Chiefs lead 3-0 at 8:50 to go in the first quarter.
2nd and 8. More pressure. They didn't get to him for a second time.
Back at the 34-yard line, Willie Gay Jr. came on an outside blitz. They're down in 18. Now Burrow's going to be sacked again. Wrapped up and taken down. Chris Jones has his first postseason sack of his career. All right, this will be a 24-yard attempt. Every point precious in the AFC Championship game, and the Chiefs get 3 more. Chiefs lead 6-0. Shotgun this time for Burrow. Looking left, he's being attacked from behind. He's sacked again as Karlaftis gets the sack. The Chiefs are passing these sacks around like Skittles.
They sacked him 4 times already.
Kelsey comes to the near side in motion. They fake to Pacheco. They want a throwback. Coming to the near side, Marquez Valdes-Scantling makes a terrific catch, snatching it from the sky down to the Bengal 21-yard line on an over route. As with 4:02, now the clock ticking down at 4 minutes, play clock at 1, Chiefs call timeout. They're going to think about this. Chiefs go with 3 tight ends and a shotgun. They roll it to the right side. Mahomes pump faking. Now fires it late for the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Kansas City! Travis Kelce from Patrick Mahomes. 2:31 to go in the first half. Burrow under pressure now floats a pass. Left side intercepted at midfield. On the right side, it's Watson who's got it and will go out of bounds in front of the Cincinnati bench.
But last year, Kansas City led 21-10 at the intermission. Tonight, it's 13-6 Chiefs.
Cincy with 6 men up on the line of scrimmage. Fake a delayed blitz. Mahomes will fire it late for the end zone. Caught! Marquez Valdes-Scantling on his backside. Touchdown! Kansas City! Bengals 3rd and 3 at their own 36. 7:02 to go in the game. 20-20 tie. Burrow holding the ball in his hand. He's going to throw it long. Coming down near side T. Higgins. It's knocked away and intercepted. Intercepted by Joshua Williams. It was deflected by Brian Cook. How about this rookie class? 2 minutes to go in the AFC Championship game. Cincinnati 20, Kansas City 20. The Chiefs had a 10-point lead late in the second quarter, but Cincy now has the opportunity.
You're going to do it again? The second year in a row and take your team to a Super Bowl, 2:30 to go, a drive for the second time in your life. Oh, you come after him or no, Jim? It's a no, not in this situation. You got to go ahead and let Chris Jones be Chris Jones.
I was going to say, I think Chris Jones is ready to do it all by himself.
3rd down and 8. Cincinnati, Burrow retreating. And now he's going to be sacked. Down he goes. Down he goes. Chris Jones destroying the blocker on the near side. And the Chiefs will call timeout at 39 seconds left in regulation. And back to receive the punt is Sky Moore. And line drive punt. Very returnable, taken by Sky Moore at the 20. Once a right return, Sky Moore at the edge, 35. Sky Moore 40, up the sideline and near midfield. 17 seconds left in regulation. Mahomes trying to buy some time on that bad ankle. Moving to his right. He is now scrambling and he's going to get a first down. And now gets hit late. He gets hit late. He gets hit late.
The only time he had to use the legs fully, he turned on and he put it on himself, and that's going to put them in position.
Harrison Butker, the biggest kick of his Chiefs' life. Placement is down. Butker's kick is up. The spinning kick high, floating in the air, and it is good! Good! It's a field goal from 45 yards out by Harrison Butker with 3 seconds to go in regulation. There is the squib. It bounds in front of the receiver. Clock now. They're going to throw it across the formation, and it is caught over there, now slipping, and the Chiefs will tackle him. This game is over. This game is over. You can doubt the Chiefs. You can dislike the Chiefs. You can disrespect the Chiefs. You're going to have to deal with the Chiefs as the AFC champions. And for the 3rd time in 4 years, the Lamar Hunt Trophy, the trophy named after this franchise's founder, is back in Kansas City where it belongs. What a gutsy victory. Grab a bucket of guts. The Chiefs are going to end the season where they began the season, in Glendale, Arizona, in Super Bowl 57.
Coming up on Hy-Vee Chiefs Insider, 2 Chiefs legends. Chiefs Chairman and CEO Clark Hunt on his father's trophy. And we'll go back to Super Bowl IV, mic'd up with Hank Stram.
Chiefs Insider is brought to you by Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. And your Midwest Ford dealers, the official car and truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Welcome back to our Super Bowl 57 edition of Hy-Vee Chiefs Insider. Chiefs founder Lamar Hunt did so much to impact the game of professional football when he founded the American Football League, starting with the 1960 season. That led to the 1970 merger of the 2 leagues, AFL and NFL. In the mid-1980s, it was decided to name the trophy of the AFC champion after Lamar Hunt. So, no better person to talk about it than Chiefs Chairman and CEO Clark Hunt on the history of this remarkable man and this amazing trophy.
Well, my dad played a very central role in the development of the National Football League, going back to the founding of the American Football League in 1958. He had first tried to buy an expansion franchise for Dallas, Texas from the NFL, and the NFL told him they were not interested in expanding. My dad kept working on it and ultimately decided that it would be easier to start his own league, and that's exactly what he did. There were 8 original franchises in the American Football League, which kicked off in 1960. The NFL and the AFL competed against each other for about 5 or 6 years, and in 1966, my dad was able to forge an agreement to merge the leagues. Out of that merger, one of the things that had to happen was the creation of a new championship game, because there would be an AFL champion and an NFL champion. Through some conversations at the league office and meetings he was involved with, my dad one day just threw out the term Super Bowl. At the time, people thought it really, wasn't the right term for the championship game. In fact, the commissioner at the time, Pete Rozelle, thought it lacked sophistication. And so the first couple of Super Bowls were not called that. They were called the AFL, NFL World Championship game, something like that. But the media and the fans caught on to the term Super Bowl, and they started calling the championship game the Super Bowl. So by the third Super Bowl, the NFL relented and started naming the game the Super Bowl.
We're just very, very happy. We were able to win the World Championship and represent pro football as their champion of the 1969 season.
So by the time we got to 1983, the league made the decision to change the name of the championship trophy to the Lamar Hunt Trophy. That would go to the winner of the American Football Conference at that point. And unfortunately, until 4 years ago, our family had never been able to hold that trophy. But then 3 years ago, in our second AFC Championship game with Andy Reid as the head coach, we won it, and it was truly a very, very special day for our family.
Placement is down. Butker's kick is up. The spinning kick high, floating in the air, and it is good! Good! It's a field goal from 45 yards out by Harrison Butker.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
There is the squib. Clock now. They're going to throw it across the formation, and it is caught over there now, slipping, and the Chiefs will tackle him.
Come on, bro.
This game is over. This game is over.
Let's go play your brother in the Super Bowl. How about that one? Holy smokes!
You can doubt the Chiefs. You can dislike the Chiefs. You can disrespect the Chiefs. You're going to have to deal with the Chiefs.
I told him I need that confetti on my head. Hey, I got some wise words for that Cincinnati mayor. Know your role and shut your mouth. You jabroni. You gotta fight for your right to party!
4 years after their defeat in Super Bowl I, the Chiefs made it back to the big game. A lot had changed in that time. The game was becoming more popular, and the spectacle of it all was growing every year. But even in the midst of the marching bands, hot air balloons, and battle reenactments that took place that day, the most entertaining performance, as always, came from the Chiefs sideline.
It's all out there in that field for us. In the next 60 minutes, we're going to get it all. World champions in professional football. All right. Gotta play.
Hank Stram was the very first person, player or coach, who was ever wired in a Super Bowl.
Let's go, boys. Hey, let's go, man.
NFL Films at this point was shooting all the games for both leagues as part of the merger agreement. And we had actually wired Hank Stram in a regular season game at Municipal. It was the Chiefs versus the Boston Patriots.
What are you doing in the huddle, Leonard? My God, what are you doing in that huddle all that time? He better tuck that ball away. Put that ball away. Out. He's out. 1 foot was out. We're just missing it that much every time. Every single time. We're that close. Look at this cleat mark right here. Look at the cleat mark right there. 1 foot was out and the other one was off. Well, geez, tell them to shut their big mouth and call them.
And it was one of the most hilarious and entertaining wires we'd ever had.
Was that there, Reds? Hey, was that there? Yes, sir.
I think that Ed Sable and Steve Sable, who had asked Hank to wear the wire, they thought that they had a potential gold mine there, and this just confirmed it.
Nice going there, Ridley. Mr. Official, let me ask you something. Okay, Coach, go ahead. How can 6 of you miss a play like that, huh?
Hank seemed somewhat more animated during the game.
I wondered why he was being so joyous and chattering all of the time down there.
I thought you'd been on the field.
No. What? Yeah, Kasulki was running around there like he was a
He's engaging in that constant staccato banter through the whole game.
It looks like he's like a football coach from Hollywood Central Casting who's just reading off lines that he's memorized from a screenwriter.
Hey, move it up a little bit. Pop it out of that end end zone, yeah. That's an excellent call. Those officials are doing a hell of a job. Just keep matriculating the ball down the field, boys.
As their outspoken head coach patrolled the sidelines of the '69 Super Bowl, the Chiefs' play on the field began to make even more noise.
They can't cover that in a million years.
The offense seemingly moved at will throughout the first half, and the Chiefs quickly jumped out to a 9-0 lead.
Well, the Minnesota Vikings, they were a very good football team. An outstanding defensive front four particularly. But we were not in awe of them.
If we put things together, we kill these guys. Look for 65 toss power trap. What does it look like? Hey, look for... Tell them 65 toss power trap. That might pop wide open, Rats.
They just felt that this is going to be a pushover. But they forgot to tell us.
Running play coming to Garrett on a trap. Touchdown! Garrett scores for the 5. Was that there, Rats? Nice going, Biggie. With 5:34 remaining here before the half, Garrett took it in.
A 16-0 lead with the defense that we had against the Minnesota Vikings offense. There was no doubt in our mind.
Multiple reports from that Super Bowl IV game is that when the Vikings went in to halftime trailing 16-0, Bud Grant did not spend a lot of time on the chalkboard, did not spend a lot of time talking about what are we doing that's not working. He told his team to just play harder. Contrasting that with Hank and the layered sense of strategic and tactical plans he had to attack the Vikings, it was like night and day. Here he was in his moment in the sun.
They didn't know where Mike was.
On a national stage.
Didn't know where he was.
In the final game of the AFL's history.
Coach pumped it in there, boys.
Completely out-coaching the Lombardi disciple on the other side of the field. And you could tell he was enjoying that.
I told you that baby was there. Yes, sir, boys.
Chiefs Insider is brought to you by Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. And your Midwest Ford dealers, the official car and truck of the Kansas City Chiefs. A Super Bowl 57 edition of Kingdom Conversations. Mitch Holtis back with you, along with senior team reporter Mac McMullen. 3 times in 4 years. It's just crazy the fact that the Chiefs are back in this game after winning the AFC Championship and the Lamar Hunt Trophy with that win over Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's just amazing stuff. And for me, I think this might be the sweetest one. So in 2019, it was amazing. We were on the freight train, right? Just everyone hop on, here we go. We're going back to the Super Bowl for the first time in 50 years. 2020, it kind of felt like, all right, this is just what we do, right? But because of what happened in 2021, being so close and having it taken away from us, to play the Bengals again in the AFC title game this year and to beat them by 3 points, the same margin they beat us by last year, it was just a very satisfying feeling. And here we are back in the Super Bowl for a 3rd time in 4 years.
I think it's going to be, in many ways, the most interesting Super Bowl of any of the previous 56. And I don't think that's hyperbole when you think that the team that Andy Reid coached for 14 seasons will now play the team that Andy Reid has coached and transformed for the last 10. And then all of the connections that just go back and forth. We know about the Kelsey brothers, but there is so much intrigue and the subplots. No scriptwriter in Hollywood or anywhere else could write this script.
And one common denominator between both of these teams and these franchises is their culture. The culture in both of these buildings is remarkable. And it's funny, if you go back to May, I don't think anyone thought the Chiefs and Eagles would be in the Super Bowl because there was disbelief at times in what those teams could achieve. Well, we've seen Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, probably the MVP of the NFL and the runner-up. You should not have disbelief in those guys, and the rosters around them are absolutely remarkable. The culture in both of these buildings is why these teams are here. We'll see how it plays out on Sunday, but it should be a great one.
Super Bowl 57. Now, make sure you keep your finger rested all week long because you are going to either on your phone want to hit the Chiefs app or make sure you're clicking to follow us on Chiefs.com because we're going to give you all kinds of stuff every day from Phoenix, Arizona. But Matt, I'm looking forward to it. Here we go again. It's time to go get another championship.
I can't wait. And once again, I think this is the sweetest one just because we know what it's like to lose a Super Bowl. We know what it's like to lose an AFC title game. Now let's go win it.
And Matt, we know what it's like to win a Super Bowl. And now it's time to go win another one. Let's go get the Lombardi Trophy again. Thanks for joining us all season long. There have been so many twists and turns, so many interesting stories to this 2022 season, into the playoffs of the early portion of 2023, courageous comebacks, fighting through injuries, a great quarterback in Patrick Mahomes, an all-time coach in Andy Reid. Travis Kelce has no equal as a tight end in the history of the National Football League. But now it all ends in Super Bowl 57 in Glendale, Arizona, as the Chiefs will take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Chiefs Kingdom, it's time to win the Lombardi Trophy. It's time to grab a ring, and it's time to have a parade again. Thanks for joining us all year long, right here on Hy-Vee Chiefs Insider.